Behind me there is the world's first bendable OLED gaming monitor, the CORSAIR XENEON FLEX. Xeneon. Now, the first couple of generations of flexible and foldable screens we've seen on phones have kind of failed to catch on. Too many compromises, too fragile, bad feel, lumps and seams and whatnot. Not there yet. But similar technologies apply to large, high refresh rate gaming monitors. Oh my! I'm not being hyperbolic or YouTube title baity here when I say this is a game changer. This is the future of gaming monitors. Or at least, I hope it is. I really do. Hello again, I am Blunty, and this thing's been out on the market for a little while now, so in this review I'm not focusing on the specs much. So if you need to know how many nits it spits out or the lab results and whatnot, if you're really interested in charts and graphs and things, you can find that elsewhere. No, I'm doing the kind of review I like best, both to do and to watch myself, a user review. What is this thing actually like to use as a normal person? Or at least a big dork gamer. Normal. Now, I've had this for several months now. It's a borrowed unit and has to go back soon. And I'm ready to tell you all about how grouchy I'm going to be when I have to send it back to Corsair because I don't want to. So, I first saw this thing in the flesh at PAX Australia late last year. From a distance, it looked like any other ultra-wide, of course, but then I watched one of Corsair's booth people grab the sides of it, yoink out a pair of handles, and bend the damn thing. Now I was interested, and the first thing I started to think about is, well, why? Why would you want that? What's the point of a bendy monitor? Why do this at all? How is this useful? Or is it just a gimmick so they can do that on show floors and get people to wash over to the booth and go, hey, look at what we got. Look at all this Corsair stuff. But I did start to think about it, and then it popped. This fixes the main thing that has kept me away from curved monitors for years now. And I've made videos about curved monitors. I've reviewed curved monitors that I quite like. I've done sponsorship videos for monitors that have curves that I quite like. One of them is that one right there, sitting up on the shelf. But as much as I like them, I have never ever switched out my daily driver monitors for curved monitors because they just don't work for me. Now, I know the benefits of curved monitors, like how studies have actually shown a large curved screen reduces eye strain and fatigue and produces better focus over longer periods and better overall comfort, blah, blah, blah. But at my desk, I work, I edit videos, I stream, I web browse, I play games, I watch movies and TV. I mix and match all of these things over multiple screens, two angled sort of towards me at a shallow angle. And all of this means sometimes I'm sitting bolt up, maybe working, maybe I'm leaning forward, maybe I'm really engaged in the game, maybe I'm on camera for a stream where I have to sit in a special spot, otherwise I'm out of focus. Other times I'm just leaning way back, like reclining in my chair, just chilling out with a game with my controller or just watching some media. And a screen with a fixed curve does not work for me for any of that. It's too restrictive because curved screens have a sweet spot that you need to sit in to get the benefits. You sit too close or too far away and you rapidly lose all of the benefits of a curved screen and you get a distorted image because the curve isn't wrapping around you properly anymore. And that's where this comes in. This is where the CORSAIR XENEON FLEX comes in. Because now it's not just about a choice between curved or not curved, it's both. And what's rather more important than having both is you can have any amount of curve you like. It's not just flat or curved, it's how curved do you want it to be? You can fix it for your personal preference, your comfort, your viewing distance, whatever you need. So this is the only curved monitor, at least right now, that doesn't force you into a single specific ideal sweet spot viewing distance. And that is a game-changing difference. This works in a way that, fixed curved monitors just can't work for me. It's a big fella, 42 inches wide, 18 inches tall, 10 inches or so of desk space you'll need to, take up for it, 45-inch diagonal, and the panel is OLED, as we talked about, bringing with it all the glorious advantages that tech brings with it. I'm sure I don't need to re-explain why OLED is good and why we all love it, blah, blah, blah. And when we say ultra-wide, in this case, we're talking about a 21:9 ratio with a native res of 3440 by 1440. And being sold as a gaming monitor, that of course does mean the OLED panel here is a 240Hz model, and it includes both AMD FreeSync premium compatibility and NVIDIA G-Sync. So whatever you're running, you can lock your frame rate to your refresh rate for zero tearing. I was pretty solid too. I like the way they've done it. There is one kind of drawback to how they've done it, but we'll get to that. So, ports. On the back, two HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, two USB 3.2 for devices, a USB-C that does support DisplayPort over USB, and another USB-C that's only downstream for chaining things out, basically turning it into a USB hub, which brings us to the other two USB 3.2 ports on the front of the stand. Also a headphone jack. Then you've got the regular stuff like an input button, so switch between your inputs, of course, and a menu rocker key. Your menu and picture presets are all pretty stock standard stuff. The menu itself is very, very clean and clear and simplistic, easy to navigate through. No unnecessary UX flourishes or anything. It's just text and numbers, easy peasy, whoop whoop. But once you do have it all set up in game, it has just superb motion clarity, easily, and I mean easily, among the best I've ever tried. Probably the best, actually. I can demonstrate some of what I'm talking about here with a sort of quick and dirty iPhone slow-mo shot of the classic, UFO test. Not really a sterile conditions lab quality test, but it gives you the idea I'm trying to drive at here that I really can't show you any other way on a YouTube video. It is utterly crispy and a whole entire world above my current 60Hz 4K gaming monitor. It's nice and bright without being eye-searingly stupid for gaming in my quite dark room. The price is competitive with other high-quality curved monitors which don't bend flat. The only real issue I had is the stand, where all that beautiful I/O is. Nice and convenient, lovely. But there's no height adjustment, there's no swivel, and sadly no VESA mount. This is the biggest compromise as far as I'm concerned. I like to multi-arm mount my monitors to clear off as much desk space as possible. I've got the arm attached to the back of my desk, monitors sort of float above it, all the space underneath is usable. Can't do that with this monitor. You can remove the legs, but the promised accessory mounting options they've mentioned on their website are yet to arrive. So we don't know what they are or how much they are or how useful they'll be. For your peace of mind though, it does also come with burn-in protection and a 0 dead pixel guarantee alongside the 3-year warranty for all the regular stuff. So you can buy with, confidence. It's Corsair, and I've used lots and lots and lots of Corsair stuff over the years, and they've never let me down. So I have no real worries about recommending it as a Corsair thing, but having that warranty and the 0 dead pixel thing, cherry on top of confidence, I guess. Now, speaking perfectly, in a perfect world, I would want a 4K version of this because I want and need 4K. Want because I'm spoiled by it now, gaming at 4K for years and years and years already. And need because, well, I need to be able to run games at 4K for when I do reviews or GPU tech comparisons and settings comparisons and settings guides, all that kind of stuff. I need to be able to run at 4K. But for someone without my highly specific use case, the 1440p horizontal ultra-wide here is actually a really good choice, because if it was 4K ultra-wide, well, most people's gaming rigs would be struggling to push enough frame rate to really take advantage of that 240Hz headroom you've got. While at 1440p, that's a lot easier. So while it's not a perfect fit for me, it's just really, really, really close. For most people, it is a really good balance of everything you need and want. And quite frankly, even though it's not 4K, every single time I had to pull this back off my desk again so I could use my dual 4K screen setup for, everything else I need to do at my desk for that kind of stuff, I missed it. I missed it big time because, man, gaming, the gaming experience on this in particular it's exquisite. It's properly exquisite. It's not just because of the OLED benefits. My current gaming screen is not OLED. It's not just the high refresh rate or the crisp AF motion or the excellent contrast or the inky blacks, but also, of course, the extra immersion you can pull from running many games in ultra-wide and being able to bend that around you a little bit too. It's really very, very nice. Now, the bendable thing, for all the real benefit it brings, it's not like you're switching between flat and bent very often. You're not doing this all day, every day, go whoop, whoop, this use case, this use case, this use case. You're doing it maybe once a day tops, a couple of times a week maybe. But it is pretty, I was going to say it's pretty handy, but no, it's actually unbeatable. It is essential to do it like this, to be able to flatten the screen out for some sweet-ass sit back, lean back, or shared experiences for a 21:9 media viewing. Because that's the other thing about curved monitors, of course. There's only one person who gets the ideal viewing when you're watching movies or whatever it is together, because there's only one sweet spot. If you're trying to sit next to someone else or, sit on the couch or up in bed or whatever you're doing, it doesn't work. This does, because you just go Flat. Solved. And it's not just movies, of course. I'm sure you've noticed, if you consume as much media as I do, over the last few years, it seemingly has become increasingly common for high production value TV shows to go 21:9 as well. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I watched a bunch of that on this a couple of weekends ago. Its vivid colors and high visual polish and its native 21:9 aspect ratio look wonderful on this screen. It was glorious. So, as much as I love it for gaming, it also became like the best screen that I have to watch movie and TV on. So yes, this is the future, or at least it should be the future. I hope it's the future. This is what makes curved screens not just interesting to people like me, but useful, at last useful. So useful and so flexible, I would clear desk space permanently to replace my regular flat screen monitors with this tech. That is an easy choice. That is a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. So, hopefully you found this review useful, interesting, informative. It hasn't been sponsored at all, even though I've been gushing about it endlessly. I don't even get to keep this. Like, I have to send this back, like I mentioned at the start. So it's not like if I say enough things about it, I get to keep it or something like that. This is properly my honest opinion. This is the absolute truth of it. It is a spectacularly good monitor. So if you are out there looking for an OLED gaming monitor, high refresh rate, 1440p ultra wide, take a real good look at this. Because, yeah, that whole bend your monitor yourself thing seems like a real weird gimmick and just sort of something to slap on the box or impress people with on show floors and whatnot. But in the real world, it is shockingly useful. Like, from here on in, a standard fixed curve monitor is just not anything I'm interested in. Like, if someone wants to sponsor me to talk about another one, I'll do it, fine. I'll tell you the truth about it. But on my desk, never again. Never even considering it ever again. No, this is where it needs to be. This thing. So, thank you for watching. I am Blunty. I'll catch you next time. Thank you to Corsair for letting me borrow this thing for a fistful of months. And thank you, as always, to the patrons scrolling up above there. Thank you very much for your above and beyond support.